Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and we're in the exciting part of the season. It's the penultimate round of Season 21 here in Invictus Racing League. We're at the United Arab Emirates today at the Abu Dhabi circuit, and what a thrilling finale we could have in store. Both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships are finally poised ahead of us tonight, and we've got a 3.28 mile circuit to settle some scores and maybe turn the title one direction or the other before our final race next week. But I'm delighted to say that joining me in the commentary box tonight, as he has been for virtually all the season, it's Mikey. Good to see you, Mike.
Likewise, mate, likewise. Penultimate round, as you said. Yas Marina. Fan favourite for you. But no, I'm looking forward to it. Should be quite interesting. Quite a few overtaking chances around Yas Marina. So...
yeah, it's going to be fascinating. We've got 13 drivers in for this evening. We will have more next week. We'll tell you more about that later on in the session. But of course, this is the penultimate round. I know that some people might be thinking, hang on a minute, why is Abu Dhabi not the final round of the season? Well, just to clarify for those that are watching, there's quite a few of you already. We were due to race at Australia for round 6, the sprint, but alas, EA service on the day decided, no thank you. You can wait. So we pushed that back to the final round of the season. So it's the penultimate race today. The final race of the Tier 1 drivers will be next week. And tomorrow is, despite confusing people here when I say this, tomorrow for the Tier 2 drivers is actually their finale, obviously commentated on by Jordan and ARL, who has commented in the chat. Hello to everybody. ARL has said, nice to be home, with a laughing face.
could be a podium on the cards then. Home knowledge for home, so...
yeah, hopefully. We're due to get started, I'm sure, shortly, aren't we, Mikey?
We are. We're just waiting for the other Alpine driver, and then we can kick off, mate.
So Milo we're waiting on.
But no, it's been an interesting season, to say the least, so far. So
It has been. It really has been. I'm hoping that... let's get started, Mikey. I think he'll be alright.
not sure, will he be able to get in?
Should be able to, shouldn't he?
As its moment's done at the game.
Yeah, I think we should get going. I think it's...
No, quick Paul had issues with it, didn't he?
Yeah, but Paul's situation was different from this one. I think, with us being 6 minutes past the start time. You know what?
He did make us aware. That is one thing we do have to mention. Like, he did make everyone aware he would be a few minutes late. And to be honest, there's been a few times throughout the season where people haven't been on time, and we've hung fire, shall I say.
Well, he's got until 8 minutes past before I start kicking off.
Right, I'll put it in the chat. Keep the drivers happy.
Yeah. Whilst Mikey's doing that, just to give you all a bit of information, the championship is exceptionally close, and I'm just going to run you through the drivers' standings and the constructors' standings, just so that you're aware of how close the situation is. So, in terms of a realistic mathematical shout at the championship, we have Bjorn de Boer, Sydney and Jel Giesen. Those three are within 21 points of another. Bjorn de Boer took the lead of the championship last week in Canada after Sydney had just a barrage of issues through Montreal. So Bjorn de Boer is the new championship leader. He's 12 points clear of Sydney going into tonight's race. Jel is 21 points back, but with the sprint race to come next week, he's not out of it yet. Shortbread is here tonight. We didn't think he would be, so he's still mathematically involved, but I think he did say he's going to be able to not take further part after this, which is a shame because he's still got an outside shot. Sunboy is 5th, but he's 60 points back, so we're looking at a top 4 really for the championship standings. For the constructors, it is very tight between Alpine and Mercedes. Alpine are 18 points clear of Mercedes. So for those that don't know, it's Milo and Bjorn de Boer in the Alpine, Jel Giesen and Sunboy in the Mercedes. So Alpine are on 147, Mercedes are on 129. Williams are a little bit further back with Shortbread and Merckx, but obviously Merckx are unable to compete in the rest of the season thanks to his injury. They're on 104 points, 43 back. Haas with Sydney and Typhon, they're 54 points back. And Racing Bulls of ARL and Ashtube are 70 points back from the championship leaders. So it's really a fight between the Mercedes and the Alpine team. We've got the ready up, which we are delighted to get started. And I think this is a really good circuit. I think Abu Dhabi, since they made the changes, I think maybe for F1 Racing Live, it's probably made it a little bit more challenging for drivers to overtake around compared to the big stops that we used to have for the chicanes. However, on the flip side, for league racing on F1 25, promotes quite a few more overtaking opportunities, doesn't it, Mike?
Yeah, it does. Obviously, with where the chicane used to be at the top end, which is now just the hairpin left. I do miss that chicane, I won't lie. That used to be quite fun. But no, there's thing is with Yasmin, there's quite a few different places you could sort of go for a cheeky overtake. But I think it depends how the race goes. Usually there's the one obviously on the main straight with the DRS going into the fair chicane section. But then obviously the second straight up to the hairpin. But then say Yasmin, you could go anywhere for the overtake. So be interested to see who. Yeah.
Well, qualifying is underway here, so we've got the timer ticking down in the top left corner. 18 minutes, of course, and a short qualifying session. We expect everybody to be running the soft tyre around Yas Marina for qualifying. There are a few strategy variants tonight. It looks like there's a crossover between whether the drivers are going to take a one-stop strategy or a two-stop. Now, it is plausible that the drivers could pull off a one-stop strategy. However, it's going to require the driver to look after the hard tyre because that is key to this strategy. You've got to run very, very long on the hard tyre. Otherwise, the medium will not last long enough. So we might see a few drivers starting on the hard compound. That's the white-walled Pirelli tyre. And you might see others starting on the yellow-walled mediums. We don't expect the soft tyre to be in play tonight for the race, but due to that is just because of the exceptional tyre wear of the soft C5 compound in the game, C1 compound in the game.
Indeed. Obviously, from what we can see, our first one out is indeed Owen. So, but yeah, it's obviously quite nice to see both Tifosi on track this evening.
The Scuderia drivers out. Yeah. It's nice to have Ruddo back in. He's still in the pits at the minute, but he is there tonight, which is great to see.
The main man himself out in one of those soft compound tyres off, get it prepared. So,
Key ARL in his home quotation marks Grand Prix. He's just coming underneath the bridge. Would you be able to do a flying lap on board with him?
Oh god, I could try. So penultimate corner, you want to take it flat out, go into the first corner, take this third, hug it, give it the beads. Right, so over the line, you want to move over to the right hand side as much as you can. You can take this corner in fifth or fourth, depending on your setup. Obviously going into the next left hander, into the right. obviously there's a pit exit. There's onto the left, down the hill towards the hairpin left. Also used to be a chicane. Onto the first DRS straight of Yas Marina. You sort of want to hug the right hand side, well, middle to the right, I believe. Because the way the track goes. Now the chicane, you want to drop this to probably first or second gear, depends how good you are. Hug the apexes on each time. Obviously, keep it under the bridge for the DRS. I'd say move over to the right. Obviously, you can't do it because of the car. Start moving over to the right. But obviously, now going to fourth. Get it round the hairpin. Hug it as much as you can. Just clip the right hand side. Then float back through on the double right hander. Then the 90 right. Then we're going to go under the bridge. Left again. Katifi corner. Go towards the penultimate corner flat out. And obviously drop it down into third, hold the apex, and over the line, and that is a lap of Yas Marina.
So 124.119 from ARL, so he gets the first lap time on the board. A couple of the drivers just crossing the line. I think Owen is coming. Yeah, he is on a flying lap. He's used all of his deployment now. It's going to cost him a little bit out of the final corner, but it's still provisional.
123.7.
It is still provisional pole, but I think his battery usage could be just a touch better, I reckon, for tonight. He could still gain another tenth or two from that as Malo de Boer moves into second. That's a good effort.
Close?
Yeah, very close. 1,000th of a second, and there goes Bjorn de Boer, the championship leader, putting himself half a second clear of the Scuderia in second place. So the championship leader
we've got a
has been overtaken by Sydney. Now that is a statement lap from the number 15, the Haas driver, 7 tenths clear on his first effort. That is a chance. It's so important for Sydney tonight. If he wants to regain momentum in this championship fight, he needs to beat Bjorn. Ideally, he needs to win this race and take fastest lap, because if he does that, it'll be 8 points of a gap going into the final race in Australia, and that is doable with the sprint and the feature race.
Indeed. Quite a really good amount of points up for grabs as well in that sprint. So obviously you'd want to set yourself up so you don't have to work as hard in Australia and the land down under. So let's see who we've got coming across. Alright, Ginger Tiger's got last corner, the apex over the line, and that is a 124. So not too far behind ARL.
On the medium tyre as well for Ginger, just to make a note of.
Sorry, Ash, you've just coming over the line. Sorry, Jack.
That's alright.
125.1. And there's Roddo. Nice. A 124.7.
Slots himself into the 5th row of the grid there. We're yet to see a lap time from Paul Racetech, who's on his out lap. Jel Geeson, I was speaking to Jel actually before the start of the race, and he's not decided yet whether he's going to start from the back or go for a qualifying effort. Now, considering that Mercedes and Alpine are in a championship fight, I think Jel wants to have a bit of fun. Whether that's in Mercedes' best interests or not, I'll let Total Wolff decide whether that's the right thing to do.
I was going to say maybe Toto and Bono wouldn't be too happy with that decision, but that's up to Toto and Bono.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Paul's just about to go onto... Oh, he's on his flight.
Seems to have lost you there, Jack. But yeah, obviously Paul coming up to the hairpin left, which goes onto the first DRS straight. Obviously hugging that apex as much as he can, getting up the gears as fast as you can for the DRS. See, not too bad. Question is, when's his break point here?
No. That was a big slide. That was a big rear lock. So Paul's one of those drivers then who's running quite a lot of rear brake bias there. You saw the car snap into the corner. So the Red Bull is using a lot of battery as well. I mean, normally on the graphics we wouldn't display the ERS usage, but I feel like for qualifying the drivers aren't going to have enough chance to look at the battery usage because they're in the pits and they're doing their own laps. But a lot of drivers are using a lot of battery early on, and I feel like, at the moment, at this point in the lap, you're gonna, it's gonna compromise the lap time a little bit, and I think that's something to keep an eye out on for the rest of this qualifying session when we've got 10:24 left to go as Paul comes over the line, and despite that snap, puts it on the front row.
I'm just gonna say it now. Paul Racetech is your main star in the Yas Marina drift. Fast and Furious 11. They're just
coming to a distribution network near you, of course.
Oh, we got a yellow flag.
I think that's just for a slow Ferrari, isn't it? I think it's Owen who's just getting out of the way.
Yeah, fair enough. But
no, Shortbread just saying in the comments, actually, he's just saying, mega fuming the year servers cooked him in Australia weekend. Otherwise, he'd have an outside shot at the championship because it's his birthday, race day next week, so he might not be here. Which is a massive shame. Massive shame.
It is.
I've been really impressed with Shortbread's first full season in IRL. I know we hyped him up in the F2 league because he won it, but he's been really at the front this season for a lot of the Grand Prix, and it's been good to see him fighting. A little bit of misfortune at times as Shortbread. He's had a few races where he's just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Strategy's gone away from it a couple of times, but he has got a race win this season, and it was fully deserved back in Miami.
True. But at the same time, you could say that about a few of the drivers this season, to be fair. Obviously, a few different situations. But no, I think quite a few of the drivers that are new to IRL as a whole have had a really good season. It's good to see new faces coming through the community, as you know.
Yeah, and one of those drivers actually who made his debut last week is the Steps. A driver that I'm quite familiar with in the Kick Sauber, the number 19, really acquitted himself well last week. He was running in third place briefly in that mad melee towards the end of the race. And he wasn't sure if he was going to race tonight, but thankfully he's done a league race earlier this evening, finished early and got in for us. So it's good to see him.
Dedication.
Yeah, it really is. And he's on a lap at the minute, actually, in the highlighter green Sauber. I'm just watching him flying towards the left-right here, coming into what would be turn 6 and 7. Yellow flags are flying just for slow cars, but it's not too bad throttle application, that from Steps.
Oh, we had a message from me. Bear in mind, this is a while back now. The current reigning Tier 3 champion himself. Jesus. So, he'll kill me for that, but it is what it is. Eiley, you're right, mate.
Yeah,
no.
IRC Bruce, the forever eternal reigning Tier 3 champion of IRL at the moment, and good to see you, Lee. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you stay tuned for the race because we've got quite a cracker ahead of us as Steps come through the last few fastest colours. Good effort from Owen to go up to second again, so he's got that front row place locked in for now. Steps is going to come across the line. It's a 5th place effort for the Sauber driver, so he's on the 3rd row of the grid, but that's a competitive effort from him.
Definitely. Obviously, it'd be nice to. It's nice to see obviously Owen up there and obviously Paul as well. Really good for Sydney, to be fair. Obviously, they've not had the best luck. Let's be honest, for the later half of this season, it's not been the best of tracks.
No, he's had struggles, hasn't he? And he had that awful race last week at Canada, which just turned the championship on his head. So it's a big session tonight for Sydney. Not to put pressure on him, but he does need. I think he needs a race win here.
To keep it competitive, I'd probably agree with you there. Going into Australia with the sprint race.
The McLarens are running their chrome livery for this race tonight. It looks. I'm not sure if it's a lighting issue within the game, but it just looks a little bit. It doesn't look like it's. What's the phrase I'm looking for here? It doesn't look like the shading's working quite well in certain parts of the track. I'm not sure if that's just a glitch within the game, but maybe as the weather conditions change for the race, as in the daylight, it might change it out a little bit. But it's, it looks a little bit. It looks a little bit off key at the moment.
Dull, yeah.
Sydney's on a lap.
But to be fair, I'm still surprised with Ginger Tiger last week with the position. I'm massively that caught me by surprise. To be fair,
Yeah, it was a fab effort from him in the end, and to get the result that he did. I think Ginger as a whole in the season won't be. Oh, Sydney has a big snap as he comes out of turn 14. He just about got away with that and goes back into the pits. But I think as a season as a whole, I know he's feeling quite frustrated about how it's gone, but he'll have the opportunity next season to correct that. We'll give you more details about next season as they come along, of course, as Paul Racetech moves himself back into the top 2 with a 122.7. That's a great effort. And Paul hasn't had any points, obviously, since he had that second place at Miami. He's a driver. We talked about drivers a number of times who have yet to have a race victory this season. Gel being one of them, Paul being another. They're right with Sydney at the moment, and they'll want a race victory, whether it's tonight or whether it's next week. They'll love to sign off their season with a P1 to their name, but have they got the same urge to go for it in the way that Sydney needs for his championship? That is the true question, as most of the people are in the pits, apart from Jel Geeson, who is on a flying lap.
We might actually have another Sauber, a last minute availability return, so this could be even more interesting, to say the least.
What, as in the next few moments?
Potentially. Should they arrive, but obviously more comments have come in. Good to see that Kent is fully supporting on his charge.
As Gel moves into 5th place, and whilst Kent, you're here watching, me and Mikey were talking about this. We just want to say thank you for taking part this season, matey. You've genuinely not had the easiest campaign. You've probably had the hardest season out of anyone, and we know it's been quite a challenge for you. So thanks for taking part, mate.
It's massively appreciated. Massively appreciated. But the Brother fan club is in full force this evening as well. Young Matty Rudd.
We do. And Ruddo is on an outlap, nitro gas coming in. So at the moment, there aren't many cars on track, actually, with 2 minutes 40 to go. It is Ruddo and Sydney on outlaps. Everyone else is now just starting to peel out of the pit. So I think that's Sunboy coming out of the pits now. And there's movement in the pit lane. So
there we go. It's probably
this is it, really.
Ruddo's going to get.
He'll have time. Even if he makes a mistake on this lap early on, he can bail out of it. He'll have enough time to go around again. It's just whether he's got enough fuel to run on a lap. But we're on board with Ruddo as he fires himself towards turn 1. The bright yellow and white helmet he's got as he approaches this left-hander. Clips over the curb, 4th gear, nicely done. A little bit of a wiggle, but no harm done there. Left and the right here at turns 2 and 3, completely flat out. It's awkward to get through because you lose momentum. Turn 4 is a bit of a nothing corner, really. You've got to spot your breakers in at the 50-metre marker. Down through the gears. 3rd for the Ferrari, a little bit wider on that one. He's going to use Owen to get a bit of a toe. So this has been well worked by the Scuderia. That is nicely done. He breezes past his Ferrari teammate and then straightens up the road as he approaches the braking zone now for 6 and 7. Can he get the car turned in? He does use a little bit of the curve. That'll sap his momentum, but it's tidy. That's the most important part. DRS wide open then as he comes and barrels his way towards turn 9. He's going to use the Red Bull that's going quite slow to get a little bit more momentum. He's 4/10ths up at the moment on the lap. 5th gear for the left-hander, runs a little bit wide over the curb, which is the natural racing line. Turn 11 and then into turn 12. Again, down through the gears. 3rd for Ruddo, and he's going to short shift to 4th. Underneath the bridge, he's going to continue using 4th. It's a difficult corner, that, in race trim. I'll explain why later. Penultimate corner, pretty much flat out. He's just got to have a nice and tidy run into the final corner, and Ruddo 24 comes across the line. It's a 23.9, which makes you think how quick the other drivers are going, because that was a fantastically tidy lap from the Ferrari.
Indeed, absolutely really good. So, but a quick question from Shortbread on the chat, Jack. We'll be able to obviously hopefully get some news either later this week or next week during the stream.
Yeah.
For our upcoming 22.
Season 22, yeah.
Yeah, obviously we'll make everyone aware from the final gamble has been rolled, shall we say. But yeah.
I mean, obviously, for Shortbread, just say, Owen has a massive slide through the corner. He got a double toe actually, from Jel Geeson, and his teammate, as Sunboy, moves into 6th place. That's a McLaren moving across the start-finish line. It's Nitro. He's going to end up in 14th. Kent has joined us, so that's fantastic. Good to have him in. The Steps, the next driver to come across the line, he goes 6th place, so he splits the Mercedes. It's a good effort. Ginger Tiger, last week's hero, this week's row 5 for the time being. We'll see if he can stay there. I'm just looking to see who the next car is. Is that Paul? Paul Racetech's got pole by a 10th of a second. Sydney's not going to go any quicker. Owen's lap, I think, is going to be invalidated. Well, it is, but he was 6th.
Coming in.
Yeah, ARL's coming in. That's not. Well, he's in 9th place. What about our championship leaders?
Milo. Even higher, backed up to 6th.
This is an important lap for Bjorn de Boer. He's going to come round the final corner. He is improving. Will it be enough to get on the front row? It's a good effort to put him in 3rd. And he's right with Sydney, which is what he'll want. But Paul Racetech, first pole position of the season. And Shortbread's just popped up into 4th, just as I say that. But Paul Racetech, first pole of the season. He's after that first victory, Mike. That's a great statement.
Could it be tonight?
Could it be tonight?
Let's not curse the poor guy.
Come on.
If we're going to have it like that.
I know Shortbread's asking about what days. We're not going to tell him specifically, but we will say that the days that we currently race on will be the days that they will be.
Marty Road possibly changes allegiances in the Ruddo fan club.
Yeah, he's becoming Matty Racetech. I'm just surprised by that lap from Ruddo, because he's 1.5 seconds from pole position, and it's got to be one of the tidiest laps I have seen in a long time in Tier 1, and I'm kind of shocked by that.
Like bewildered.
Yeah.
Big words with Mike. Yeah. So it's surprising. Obviously, with Kent joining us late, we just get to watch the countdown, which is nice.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating, this race. There's a lot out there. We're just waiting for Kent's. It says Kent's car's in the pits, but I'm not sure what we are waiting for at the moment. There we go. That's what we were.
It's because they've not gone over the line.
Yeah.
So also because he's joined at the very end, the system's had a hiccup. So
let's run you through these qualifying results. It's Paul Racetech and Sydney on the front row. They're going well a lap from the Red Bull driver. It's Bjorn de Boer and Shortbread on row 2, with Owen and Jel on row 3. Milo de Boer and the Steps are 7th and 8th respectively, with Sunboy and ARL rounding out the top 10. Ash Tube and Ginger Tiger are currently residing in the point scoring positions, with Ruddo and Nitro on row number 7. Kent joined in late. He's on row 8 by himself. Right, whilst we wait for the event to get started, I'm going to choose this opportunity to tell you all that this is Mikey's last event of the season, due to reasons that Mike will describe if he wants to or otherwise. So, considering that this is the last time I'll get the chance to do this, Mikey, who's winning the race today?
Um, you love putting me on the spot.
I do enjoy it.
20 years doesn't change anything.
No,
does
it doesn't.
I don't know. I think any of the top three could go for it. But if it's like Canada, you don't know what could happen. I think sometimes, well, the experience that I've had with Yas Marina, anything can happen. But
So who are you picking then? I know your 20-year strategies, my friend. Who are you picking?
do you know what? I'm gonna throw this out the water now, and you might laugh at me, but I'm gonna say Owen.
Okay.
I've got a bit of faith in the fella to Foci, alright.
Yeah, I would. I think it would be quite a feel-good factor story if Owen managed to score a race victory. He's not had a podium this season. His best result was, of course, at Zandvoort 2 races ago when he finished. I think he was 4th that day. So it would be really nice to see the Ferraris on the podium. He looks competitive tonight. It's just whether the race pace is there, and that's kind of key. We know that some drivers have got the qualifying pace, but they kind of lack consistency in the races. Can Owen put it together?
That's the big question, mate. Time will tell.
Sydney has said, loved how I did 1 lap and bottled it from there.
I wish I was that fast. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, what I'm currently enjoying at the minute is Bjorn de Boer and Jel Geesen have got this kind of friendly rivalry going on where they like try and deliberately wind each other up. It's quite enjoyable actually from a spectator's perspective. Maybe not so much for the two of them, but it is pure box office, I have to say. And a couple of comments have come in as well. Jel saying had to give back for Owen after last week. That makes sense. I was wondering. And Matty Rudd saying miss you, Mikey. All the love hearts. I'll let Mikey respond to that in a minute. JMB Surreal saying shortbread for the win. Okay, I like that. I like that, Surreal. Thanks for that. And then shortbread just also agreeing with me. Their rivalry is quite funny. I do enjoy it actually. I do like a little bit of heated discussion from time to time. But the drivers are on the formation lap, and here we go.
Yeah, with Paul leading the way as well. It's mad to think he's done what, not even half a season with us, and each race has obviously climbed up a bit. Obviously, unfortunately, had a bit of system issues last week.
Yeah.
But no.
He's had 2 podiums as well. I mean, let's not forget he joined us partway through the season back at Imola, and he got a podium on his season debut. You know, he had that podium, the 2nd place at Miami. He has been, I think,
chomping at the bit.
Yeah, I think box pound for pound has been improving week upon week, which is really, really nice to see. Let's get the tyre detail open for everyone, just so you can see it all. And I did say that some people will be brave enough to try and do a one-stop, and look who's in the top 5 with the hard tyre on, Mikey. It's Shortbread, and I reckon he's going to go for it. Possible strategies just on the board as well. A 2-stop, there's a double medium and a hard. There is a 3-stop, but I think that's unlikely unless we get a safety car. Yeah. I think it's between a 2-stop and a 1-stop today.
I think give it a few laps, especially with the mediums, we'll be able to sort of get a grasp of an idea what the wear's going to be like. Not there, to be honest.
And one final prediction from you, Mikey. Will there be a safety car in this race, yes or no?
Do you know what? I'm going to say yes.
Okay. So, as Paul Racetech pulls himself into his grid box, we've got Kent just approaching turn 15, the penultimate corner of this circuit. We've got 16 corners here in Abu Dhabi. He's just going to pull in right now.
Our own Sonny Hayes warming up his tyres.
Well,
and he's in his box.
Kent Hayes is in the box, so let's see. On the front row of the grid, we've got the Red Bull on the left-hand side and the Haas on the right. Who will make the best start here in Abu Dhabi? And the race is live. Here we go towards turn 1. It's a cracking start from the front of the row for Paul Racetech. He's going to be challenged, though, by Sydney into turn 1. The Ferrari of Owen goes into the back of Shortbread. I don't think there's any damage. There's a little bit of contact further back. Oh, the Williams of Shortbread was off the road. Owen's gone over the grass. I'm going to say that's a McLaren round. It's Ginger Tiger, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, I think it might have been Ginger
and Kent. Yeah, Ginger was off the road. I don't know if he tried to come back on, but absolute nightmare start for the McLaren and the Sauber. It was just carnage at the back of the field. You could see everyone's kind of going 2 by 2 by 2, a bit like Noah's Ark, except we're not there. But at the moment, it steps down the inside of Shortbread for 4th place. A good start for the Sauber man. What are you seeing, Mike?
Oh, but just a little bit of contact. Just Ruddo just trying to get in between Astube and ARL there, going into the chicane. But he's already got Astube and ARL going up towards the hairpin. The Ferrari man on the charge already, trying to catch up to his teammate.
Yeah, good start for Ruddo, up 2 spots at the moment, but Paul Racetech is in the lead, and Bjorn de Boer has jumped Sydney whilst we were watching the chaos at the back. So the Alpine, the championship leader, right now is extending his points lead, but do not rule out Sydney at all yet. This is only start of lap number 2. Steps, what a start. I did say he had a great start. He's up from 8th place. He's up to 4th. He's had a lightning start as the Sauber. He's got Shortbread on the hard tyres, don't forget, behind him. And Shortbread's only lost 1 place. I think if he can keep pace with the runners at the front, he'll be happy with where his position is right now.
Obviously not the best of starts for Milo and Owen, obviously dropping 2 places each. But I imagine they'll try and get back into the race soon, or go longer. But they're both on... Oh no, Milo's on the hard.
Bjorn de Boer around the outside for the race lead. What a move that is from the Alpine. He moves into the lead of the race here, but Paul Racetech, a little bit of battery to the outside line. He should be able to breeze on by, and sure enough, the Red Bull is back in the lead of the race. And the Steps is going with them here. This is a great race so far from the Sauberman. And that's ARL going backwards. Oh, there's the Racing Bulls and Ruddo having a private fight of their own in 11th place, but Ruddo back in front of Astube.
The prancing horse giving the Bulls a run for the money. So,
well, if you're not in the top 10, sadly, you are not in the DRS train. And as you can see, the effect it's having, Ruddo 3 seconds off the top 10. So already this group are firing away. Shortbread with the fastest lap of the race on hard tyres. I suspect that's with a bit of DRS usage and a bit of clean air, but we shall see. Yeah, Owen, right, look at this! Whoa!
On the outside, fully committed there.
You do not see overtakes at turn 2 and 3, but the Ferrari, a little wiggle on the exit. Has he got DRS? That's going to be tight. I don't know if he has.
I don't think he hasn't. He didn't get it. Just missed out, unfortunately.
That move might scupper him if he doesn't get back into DRS, Mikey, because the guys in front are going to be quicker than him. He's got to nail this exit. If he doesn't, it's going to cost him, but I think... No, he hasn't got it. So that might be a split in the field now. That overtake, as brave as it was, long term, it might just have cost him and put Racetech and Bjorn de Boer side by side for the race lead. Bjorn's got the outside, which becomes the inside at 12, and he's in the lead.
Yeah, I'm looking at some impressive moves by both Paul and Bjorn so far, but obviously it is early days with 27 laps. Oh, yeah, 26 laps remaining. So, yeah. See if there's anything. But to be fair, Shortbread's keeping up with the Steps here. It's been quite compact.
These two reigniting a rivalry from old X-League racing days. These two know each other relatively well. It's the first time they've gone properly wheel to wheel in IRL, which is nice to see. But you're right, Mikey, Shortbread doing a great job. And the most critical thing is he's in DRS. He's in the lead group. And he's got the best tyre at this point in the race, I feel. I feel like starting on the hards might be the better race tyre and gives him more options. But here we go again for the race lead, Mike.
You're still technically in the lead. Wes is going to go try to get him into the hairpin, go up here. Oh, but he's got Sydney right next to him.
Can we see? I think Sydney's going to go for it. He's down the inside. That was very tight between the two. A little slide from the Hassies. Oh no! I just saw. No, it was tyre to tyre contact. They'll be okay. But I just thought I saw a race ender for both of them going into the wall there. I've seen that in IRL before, but thankfully they keep it in a straight line. But Sydney not taking any prisoners, and nor was Paul. They didn't want to give each other room. But look at the gap now, Mikey. 2 seconds clear of Owen.
Wow. And obviously that's what can happen. Unfortunately, you just can't keep hold of that DRS. But then obviously you could say the same with Astube. Obviously Astube would own IRL.
Yeah. So we go on to lap number 5, and our duo groups of 5 are fighting over first and 6th place respectively, although Owen nearly had gapped Gel there with DRS. He was unlucky. He almost had that. Sunboy's looking quite quick, and Gel's going to move out of the way for Sunboy to go through. So that's a change of positions down at Mercedes, and it was a nice clean move that for Sunboy.
Well, they're both on the same compound tyre, so it must be just sort of helping each other by leapfrogging.
Yeah.
But here's Sunboy going on a move on Owen on the outside. He's very close between the two. Owen's making him work for it, but not quite.
Oh, contact between Milo De Boer and Gel, and that's a broken front end plate for the Alpine. It was just wheel-to-wheel contact. It wasn't as if there was any malice. They just came together in the exit of turn 9, and that is going to compromise the Alpine. That's big for the championship fight for the constructors, because whilst Bjorn is leading the way, he needs Milo scoring as many points as he can. That's not going to be ideal.
I was about to say that, to be fair. That's going to shake it up quite a bit. So, but he is keeping sort of up with them. What side was it he's got the damage on?
Front right side. Yeah.
Okay.
Whether it was bad enough for it to be yellow or orange, I don't know. I mean, to me that looks pretty catastrophic. But you know, with this game, sometimes it might not register the damage like we see.
He's still in the RS though.
He is.
Owen's effectively keeping the fight quite interesting between Mercedes and Alpine at the minute.
I think Sunboy's going to get him. Yeah, there you go. That's an easy enough move. And Sunboy moves up into 6th. But Sunboy looks like he's got a little bit more speed in him in the race. His qualifying might not have been where he'd have expected it to be, but down in 9th. However, his race pace is looking quite promising. He got past Gel quite easily, and he's gone past Owen. So let's see if he can haul himself up to the fight at the front, or at least keep that gap at about 3 seconds. Is that Gel going? Yeah, Gel's off the road, and I think Nitro Gash is going to get him here. Oh, a bit of contact between the two, and Nitro goes through. But that was a bizarre one.
I was about to say, to be fair, obviously, as we both know through previous history, sometimes you might be good at qualifying, but at the end of the day, it's the race that really matters. So, it's just, some people can't do it over a few laps, and then some people can just make it go over a whole race. It's a strange phenomenon.
It is, but consistency is so important, and I think that little fight between Nitro and Gel has actually splintered that group further, because Ashtube is almost within DRS of these two now. So that could become a quintet again, because Ruddo and ARL are with them too. So just keep an eye. Excuse me, I do apologise for that. But keep an eye out on that fight, because that could definitely close up.
Obviously, Nitro's still got that DRS on Jelgisen, so obviously that's keeping everyone else alive behind them. And there is obviously some slight if Roddo can get back into it. He's what, 1.9, just behind ARL. So, but all it takes is one little mistake by one of the drivers in front. It gets him back in the game.
Yeah, it can turn on a sixpence. You're right, Mikey.
Oh, who's in the pits?
Some boy. That's an well. It's about right for the. If you're going to do a two-stop strategy, this is the right time. That's a double stack.
Yeah.
Oh, let's watch this and see if the Mercedes can pull this off. It's going to be close. It's going to get held.
No, it got held off
By about 2 seconds.
McLarens have got them.
Yeah. So Nitro's got in front of Gel because of the double stack for Mercedes. So that hasn't really worked out, Toto. I might have to chat with the team about that one. But the two Mercedes double stacking, I've not seen that before in Abu Dhabi, but there we are. Out they both go. And this is important. This is an important lap now. For those that are doing the two-stop strategy, they've got to counteract this with the two Mercedes doing something a little bit different. Will it pay dividends, though? That's the key question here. Back at the front with the quintet, they are exactly the same. They're still
Milo going up to overtake on the inside of Owen. If he's going to have a bit of difficulty with that end plate sort of miss at the minute. Question is he going to try and pit now, or is he going to go as long as he can on that wing?
I think if you're on the hard tyres, you have to run as long as you can, don't you? I think because if you pit now, it completely changes your strategy. And Steps is in and Sydney's in. Oh, now this is important.
Owen's in.
Yeah, Owen's in as well. Let's just see if no one else will be in at this point of the race. Everyone else will be carrying on.
Let's see what Sydney's going to. Sydney's going to the hard compound tyres.
Steps going for medium, so Steps definitely confirmed as two stopping. Sydney, the hards can do 20 laps, to be honest, around here, but they will be, I would describe them as being like jelly come the end of the race. So we'll see what the strategy call is for Sydney, whether he decides to make another pit stop. But this lap's critical now. He's got to put his foot down, because if he can bridge a gap to Bjorn and Paul Race Tech and overtake them and get a DRS advantage without them, he might be able to pull away tonight.
It's quite an interesting one, because obviously they'll have to pack. Obviously, how long do you reckon these mediums will last? What you think?
From what I know, that if you want to try and make a one-stop work, you have to take the medium tyre to 10, 11, maybe 12 laps to give the hard a chance to get to the end.
So like 16, 17 laps effectively on these hard compound tyres.
Yeah, I think so. And look at this. Bjorn and Paul have carried on again, and I think they're debating what the best strategy is. But Shortbread is right with them. You know, he's the one who's got the flexibility with the strategy. He can do whatever he likes.
Do you reckon that both of them are worried? Because if they pit too early, because is it the undercut or the overcut that's quite effective? Yasmin, I can never remember.
The undercut is very effective around here.
Okay. I'm just saying, obviously, the issue they're going to have is you want to be on the softer compound come the end of the race. But both of these will have to probably, if they're going to have one stop, they'll have to go the hard tyres, whereas Shortbread can obviously go into the medium compound. But I've got a feeling Shortbread's just letting them two fight, letting them use the tyres up and the batteries, and he's just taking his time just to keep with them, let them do all the work, and he just sort of glides with them as such.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's a smart strategy for Shortbread. He's not really having to use much of his tyre in the same way that the two front runners are, but he's getting DRS, which is the most important element of this. And I think that's just confirmed it on this lap. I think Bjorn and Paul are going for a one-stop strategy. I think that's what they're doing. So for Shortbread now at this point in the race, it's a bit hard for him because he's got a double DRS in front of him with Paul and Bjorn. But ideally, at this stage, with his tyres being a lot better than theirs, he wants to try and get past them if he can. But the two stoppers of Sydney and Steps are lighting up the timing screens.
But no, obviously Ruddo starts falling back a little bit from the rest of the pack. Obviously, you've got both Sydney and Steps on his rear diffuser.
Yeah, he's not going to have anything to defend with, and I don't think Ruddo's going to defend it. He knows he's in a completely different fight compared to these two. So that's DRS for Sydney and the Steps. They go on by new tyres compared to Ruddo's 10-lap-old hards. So Ruddo, he's in a fight with the Racing Bulls and the two McLarens as well. So it's a different...
at least he's got DRS here. That's the thing. You could at least
it will benefit him
with this pack. So all Steps go for a move on Sydney. Closing the door over.
I think for the Steps and Sydney, they'll be wise not to fight each other at this point. They're trying to do something different compared to these guys. And Shortbread's in. Wow. So Shortbread deciding to pit, and is that confirmation of the two-stop then? Because
actually,
he's going to have to, because if he's pitting now, is he going to go... Ash Tube's in as well, as Sydney does the new fastest lap of the race. Medium tyres for Shortbread, so he is going to do another stop for the mediums. So Shortbread running a different strategy to what I thought. So at the front, it's Bjorn and Paul, who reverse psychology here, wasn't expected to do the one stop. But it looks like they're locked into this now.
It's quite interesting. Because the thing is, you don't want to go into the hard too early in case there's a safety car. But you don't want to leave it too late to where you start to hemorrhage time. So let's whiz through the field.
Owen just goes past Gel for 10th place there, so the Ferrari moving himself back through the field. Ash Tube goes past Nitrogash for 12th place. I think Paul's just about hanging on to Bjorn here. He's just slipped out of DRS, and he lost it before, did Paul, and I wonder if now's the time to make a stop. His tyres are just starting to fall away. Bjorn's in and Paul's in too. So this is
following suit.
Yeah, this is their one-stop strategy then. They both get it stopped just in time. Milo is in. No, he's not. He's carried on. And Milo's got... Whoa, that's ARL going right off the road. I think he moved out of the way. So Sydney is going to be comfortably in front of Bjorn and Paul, thanks to the undercut. So the two guys now of Sydney and the Steps, they're on the two-stop strategy. They now have to push hard to get ahead of Bjorn and Paul. And they're going to come out behind Owen, so that is not ideal.
And Shortbread as well, so that's quite interesting actually.
Bjorn looking at the inside of Owen. He's going to go through, and I think he timed that nicely, did Bjorn, because he'll get DRS. It pops open. And Paul will have DRS. Owen won't, no.
No, Paul's not waiting around here. I'm just going to ride on board with Paul and see what he does.
Paul's pitted for the mediums, Mikey. Now,
do you reckon he thinks it's going to be another safety car? Or not another one, but a safety car in the next few laps?
I've also noticed the Steps is 1.5 seconds clear of Sydney. Sydney's made a mistake at tyre 9. I was wondering why the gap had changed and why they'd swapped places. But Sydney's had a little bit of a slide. He's got away with it. There's no damage on the car. But they are behind Milo de Boer. So Sydney might have just about got away with that little slide, whatever's happened to him. But the Steps now is legitimately involved in the race victory here. This is a fabulous fight. We've got two strategies going on between the Steps and Sydney. Shortbread is running a different strategy to Bjorn and Paul Racetech, who will have to pit again because he started on the mediums. And maybe you're right, Mikey. Maybe he's thinking there's a safety car, or
he's going to go for the softs near the end.
That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. And the Steps is going to take P1 his first time in IRL. Well, is Sydney on the going for another chance? No. But no, this is amazing. Just constantly different drivers in the top three.
Here comes Sydney. So that was a brief foray into the lead for the Steps, but Sydney takes that back and he moves into the lead of the race. So the Steps, sadly for him, has not yet led a lap fully of RL racing yet, but he's right in the hunt tonight.
And
he's probably
more than me this season.
Yeah. But I think for Steps though, what is critical for him right now is that he just hangs on to Sydney, because he could pit earlier than Sydney and get an undercut on the Haas for later on in the race. So, it's all finally poised here today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited.
Oh, we got a yellow flag.
That's the Mercedes. That's Jal Geeson. He's got going again.
Car?
No, I think he's okay.
I'm getting a bit worried the safety car bet's not going to happen now.
Yeah. Gel in the pits then. So Gel said to me he wanted to put on a show. Not quite happening for him yet in the race. But still, half of it to go. We're on lap number 15.
Oh, and he's gone onto the hards. So imagine he's going to try and stick to these to the rest of the race. I imagine. Obviously, there was no damage we could see that was replaced. But no, Tifosi working together as well. See what they can do. But no.
You do know that the Tifosi are the supporters of Ferrari and not the actual drivers.
I know that. It's just easier to say. It's just
easier to say than Ferrari. Well, fair enough. I'm not going to judge you.
You've just noticed that I've actually had a clever moment for once.
You keep dreaming that. So in the race, at the moment, ARL, he's on 14 lap old hard tyres, and he is now being caught like a freight train by Sunboy, Shortbread, Bjorn de Boer, and Paul Racetech. This is an important moment in the fight for the championship, really, because Bjorn doesn't want Shortbread Sunboy in front of him. You know, those are competitive rivals for this race victory. And right now, he's just under 8 seconds behind Sydney. He's going to take the lead again when Sydney makes another pit stop. But he's right in the thick of all this action. He doesn't need it. Look at this. It's almost
going for the inside.
Ooh, that could be 3 wide, but it's not. Oh, look. ARL's got no grip at all. Where does Bjorn de Boer go? Look at this. They're all scrambling over the same piece of tarmac. You got 3 wide followed by contact! In sync, me and Mikey there, but it's going to be Shortbread. Young Mal could be delighted at that, but Shortbread is in front. Sunboy's in front. Now, there was damage there from the contact, and I'm just trying to see who it is. As Steps takes the lead of the race from Sydney, it's all kicking off on lap 16. It's impossible to keep on top of the action. There was damage there between Sunboy and Bjorn. I don't know who got the damage. And trying to look at
Sunboy. Bjorn's end plates look like they were still intact.
Yeah.
So were Sunboy's.
Okay, so maybe that might have been some visual damage, but that could have been a massive accident. Yeah, a catastrophic accident. But thankfully for the pair of them, they've continued on in a straight line, but Bjorn is still stuck behind the drivers he doesn't want to be stuck behind.
Someone's going in.
Yeah, it's Paul.
Paul's coming.
Now, did Paul get damage from that? I saw damage popping up from someone's end plate. That's an early stop for Paul. He's going onto the hards. No damage. He's not going. Now he's gone. Or was that a visual glitch?
He's going. He was fine.
It must have been a visual glitch on my end.
Oh, we got a yellow flag.
Gel's in the wall.
Yells round. Is that going to be a safety car? Oh.
He's trying to get going,
Oh.
and he is going. Beyond the Ball is in front of Sunboy, and he's got his teammate fighting with Shortbread, who he needed to keep, well, behind the Alpine, but that's not going to... Who's gone?
Yell Geeson's just tried to turn right and went straight on instead.
Here comes Milo back at Shortbread. This is important for the race lead. Well, in terms of the race victory, I should say. And Milo moves right out of the way of Beyond the Ball. Gel is out.
What's happened there?
Yeah, I think he's retired on track. No safety car, though. Milo's got no grip at all. If you're watching the live stream, you could just see the Alpine is sliding all over the road, and into the pits comes Steps. Now, this is the undercut I was talking about before, as somebody runs into the back of the Alpine. This is the undercut I was talking about for Steps. Getting into a new set of boots onto that car and undercutting Sydney, and he goes onto the hards to the end of the race, which I think is the right call.
Ruddo's in. Time to get those old hard compound tyres off the car. See what he's going on to. He's going on to the medium compound tyres for the last 12 laps.
So it's a one-stop for Ruddo. He's in the points at the minute. It looks like he's going to comfortably stay in the points.
Yeah.
And Beyond the Ball has gone past Shortbread. Yeah, I mean, Ruddo's at turn 1, so he should be okay.
Fair point. But
wow.
Milo has an off drop back here, to be fair.
Yeah, he had absolutely no grip, had to pit. So Paul Racetech will be in front of him as a result of the pit stops, because Paul Racetech, don't forget, he's doing a 2-stop strategy, which I wasn't expecting him to do. I feel like he might have just taken himself out of the race equation by doing that, but alas, maybe he'd went into the pit and the wrong tyres were selected. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's what's happened.
He's just had to get on with it, sort of thing.
Yeah, Sydney in, race leader in the pits. So the championship protagonists are going to swap places. Beyond the Ball is going to take the lead. Shortbread is in second and harrying the Alpine. How far behind is Sydney going to be?
He's out the box.
He is, but how far is he going to be in seconds from that Alpine? He's going to get overtaken by Ash Tube and the Steps, I think. Yeah, he is.
Oh, man.
It's Paul Racetech does a new fastest lap of the race. But Sydney has come out 13 seconds behind Beyond the Ball. Ooh.
Obviously, got those tyres warmed up. Paul's on 2-lap hards.
Yeah, so Paul's 5 seconds away as the Steps overtakes Ash Tube. So this is the next key phase of this race now. So the Steps pitted 1 lap earlier. He's 11.3 behind Beyond the Ball. Sydney is 12.7 behind Beyond the Ball. These two now have to pull about 1.2 seconds a lap up to Beyond the Ball to catch him. Now, as the race wears on in the last 5 laps, expect the Alpine's hard tyres to start crying for help. As it stands right now, they won't be in too bad a nick, but we will keep an eye on that gap with vested interest.
Yeah, if it's 5 laps for that, probably like 2 or 3 laps for these mediums that Shortbread's currently got in the car.
Nice little fight with Owen and ARL as Owen moves in front of the Racing Bull for 9th place as Ash Tube makes his pit stop. So he's the other driver who needed to make a second stop. He's in now in the steps of a new fastest lap of the race.
I'm actually surprised Milo is still going with that damage on his front right end plate. But it's like you said earlier, the Alpine lads need to go for every single possible point they can get their hands on at the minute. So
yeah, they can. And the other thing as well for Milo is that it mustn't be affecting him too much, because otherwise he would have pitted. I think it's took him out of any fight for a top
podium.
5. Yeah, definitely a podium. I think he's going to be hard pressed to get a top 5 here, if I'm being honest, because I know that Shortbread will still have to pit, because there's no way that those tyres are going to do 18 laps. but he'll be on such fresh tyres when he comes into the box. He'll breeze past Milo because he's 21 seconds pretty much in front of the second Alpine in the race.
Obviously, looking at our timing board, obviously quite a spread, to be fair. I think the closest battle, to be honest, is Bjorn and Shortbread.
It's not anymore. Shortbread's in.
Oh. That's interesting. Maggie's probably going for another set of mediums.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Matthew. He's gone for mediums. Sydney just took 1.6 seconds out of Bjorn on that lap alone, and that's above the time he needs to take out, the minimum lap time he needs to take out. Now, he's lapping quicker than Sydney at the minute. Sorry, the steps at the moment is Sydney.
He's also got DRS.
And he will have DRS, so I think he's going to go past. I think if the steps knows what's good for him, he'll let this one go, and he'll go with him. So they swap places for second, and now
on the left, then the right. Good traction out the corner.
I think Shortbread is going to be lining up a move on Milo de Boer. Here we go, DRS wide open. He can use a little bit of battery. He's got the front wing advantage. And yeah, he's there before we got to the corner. So Shortbread up to fifth now. He's going to go for Paul Racetech in fourth. I think he's going to be limited beyond that unless we get a safety car, because he's 10 seconds off the battle for the podium. So unfortunately for Shortbread, I don't think he's going to get in the top three tonight.
Like you said, obviously not much to go off in the way of penalty points at the minute. Not really much to shake off. Obviously Milo has the 3 seconds, and so does Kent. Obviously not really much major incidents so far this evening.
Apart from lap 1, which is sadly scuppered Ginger's and Kent's races respectively. I'm sure Kent will be wondering.
To the pair of them,
yeah,
just crack it on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important. You just never know what might happen in this race. Gel did comment before just to say he had no grip after one spin and lost his rear wing when he went backwards. Is that steps going past Sydney? It is. So those two are leapfrogging, to borrow your term from earlier, Mikey. Leapfrogging one another and trying to close that gap down to Bjorn, which they are doing.
7.5 seconds now. So
I'm just keeping an eye on the lap times each lap, because
is it a second a lap, give or take?
I'd be able to tell you in less than 10 seconds time, Bjorn de Boer comes across the line, does a 27.7. The Steps, who is now 7 seconds behind, is going to do a 125.6. It's 1.4 seconds a lap. Now, if you work that out quite quickly, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to realise
over the minimum.
Yeah, it is. Correct. He will catch Bjorn de Boer, and Sydney will catch Bjorn de Boer by lap 27.28 on that crossover.
Ooh.
How feisty does Bjorn want to get for this? How much does Sydney want a championship? How much does Steps want his first win in IRL?
It's all to play for, mate. All to play for.
It's exceptionally close. I'll tell you one gap that's getting closer as well is Shortbread to Paul Racetech. That's now 1.9 seconds. The Williams hauling in the Red Bull. Sunboy is also hauling in the Alpine. I'm sure they're just swapping places, aren't they? They are.
Yep. That's down to 6.5 seconds now. But those hard tyres must be screaming.
They'll be in a bit of difficulty for Bjorn. They can go to the end, and we've seen him do a one-stop this season and have it work for him. So do not
miss that.
Tell us the lap time.
127.6.
Sydney coming around the final corner. 26 flat. It's another 1.6 seconds taken out of the Alpine, you're looking at 4 laps from now. This is getting tight, this. One thing I will say about Bjorn de Boer is pace has not dropped. He's keeping a consistent, steady lap time. He's not really losing tenths per lap. He's not really making mistakes. It's vital for Sydney and Steps to keep leapfrogging and using that DRS, because if they don't, they won't be gaining as much time as they should be, and they won't catch up as quickly. I think what they'll do is they'll swap places on the exit of this corner here, won't they?
Ooh. Little stop there. No, see, I think sort of an acknowledgement there. Let's work together. Knock that down to what, 5.7 seconds? Is that? Yeah, 5.6. Sorry, no. But yeah.
As ARL goes past Owen for 8th position, and Owen had picked up a time penalty there, which will drop him out of the top 10.
Let's see what Bjorn's time is. A 1:27.6 again.
Yeah, he's spot on with the lap times, is Bjorn.
1:26.3.
1.3 seconds. It's tight. It's tight, but that's the thing for Bjorn. He just keeps doing the same lap times, and they really need him to start making a mistake now or two, just to pull that gap down.
Yeah.
That's what they need. I thought
Right,
Shortbread would have caught Paul's race tech by now, but the gap's 1.4. But Paul's doing a great job in their Red Bull at the minute.
Don't think Sydney's going to catch him this time.
No, they wait till the next straight, don't they? Oh, you can tell they're pushing hard because their tyres are struggling a little bit, and here goes Sydney up to second place.
Side. You know, this has moved down to, is it just 4.8 seconds now?
Well, hold on to your hats.
Yeah, 1.4 seconds for the next 3 laps. Yeah, we'll possibly put it at that point.
There's some weird visual glitch going on for Sydney there. Something was sparking underneath the car.
Bjorn's over the line on a 1:27.7.
It's not much, is it really?
1:26.2.
1.5 seconds from the Sydney Steps duo with 4 laps to go. Shortbread is almost he's in DRS range now, so Shortbread will be able to attack Paul Racetech for 4th place. Owen and ARL still close together, but
hanging on to DRS here.
He needs to keep hold of it. For both of their sakes, they need to keep hold of it, because if they pull away from one another, Bjorn will just have a little bit more ammunition to stay in front. How Owen's got another 3 seconds worth of penalties and 1 lap, I don't know, but he has. Ooh, I don't know. Steps is further away than he has been. He'll have DRS. And Sydney's going for it. Sydney's going for it. He's dropped him. He's not hanging around with Steps anymore. That mutual agreement is done. They are finished, and Sydney is off. It's 1.1 seconds. So Sydney thinks with 4 laps to go, he can get him himself.
Sort of a long live the king sort of moment from Lion King, this. Sydney's just got to make it stick, no?
Gel saying Sydney and Steps are being done for fight. I think you're missing it, Gel. Here, I think they've been really working together here with the DRS, but I think Sydney might be in a better position with the tyres, and he is
1:26.7. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sydney.
He was a second quicker than Bjorn de Boer on that lap. It's not enough. 3 laps to go. He's got to pull. He's got to get to on this lap here at this corner on lap 29. He needs to be within a second of Bjorn. If he's not, he will not get past the Alpine. The Alpine will hang on. It's going to be so close though. It's unbelievably tight between the two at the minute.
Yeah, Steps is out of DRS. Question is, can he get back? And he might be in that range.
He might be, but he's not close enough to do anything with it.
But if he could stick with him. Yeah,
Shortbread
DRS
moves into 4th place. Sorry to cut across you, Mikey, but Shortbread moves into the top 4. And for Paul and Shortbread, I think they'll be reckoning in the case of what might have been for those two had they have done something slightly different. Sydney's off the road, and that might have just cost him the race victory. He's just gone off the road at tyre 9. Paul goes back in front of Shortbread whilst I was watching that. I didn't see what happened. I didn't know if he just ran across the road or something. It didn't look like he had a big wobble, but that might have just signalled the end of the victory chance for him.
I think the tyres are gone. I think they're slightly struggling on these tyres, if I'm honest, Jack.
He's still lapping quicker than Bjorn, but 6 tenths is not enough. We've got 2 laps to go, including the one that we're on. Bjorn de Boer... What are you saying, Mike?
Just saying, sorry, I was just watching Sydney then, just a little slide there on the exit of turn 1. So they're going to need to take at least, what, a second and a half out of him?
Well,
each lap.
Bjorn de Boer's tyres... I mean, Bjorn de Boer's consistency so far has been nothing short of fantastic so far tonight. But he's got this lap and the next one to do. If he wins this race, the gap becomes 15 points in the drivers that actually... Hang on, I'll be able to properly confirm this for you. Yes, it will, because this is... If this... Put it this way, if the championship fight got settled by a point, Mikey, the Steps currently has the fastest lap of the race on a 1:25.696. Sydney has the next fastest lap on a 1:25.697. It's a thousandth of a second. And Sydney is not catching Bjorn. That moment when Sydney decided to drop the steps to go for it by himself, and I understood why he wanted to do it. He probably thought, I don't want this Sauber anywhere near me.
1:28.1.
28.2. Grip's gone. The tyre whisperer of Bjorn de Boer is just 5 kilometres away from what could be a one hand on the trophy moment here in season 21.
Just called it at the right time. Got out of the way and just got on with it. So
he was the only one quick enough to pull off the one stop. He's normally the only one quick enough to pull off the one stop this season. That's a Ferrari round. That's Owen off the road.
Question is, let's see what Steps can do. Obviously, the last DRS opportunity.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get overtaken.
Is he just going to pull
Sydney's in trouble. He's in trouble, Mikey. Steps is going past him and going through.
All Steps has got to do is just these next 4 or 5 corners. It's all he's got to do.
He's going to get a first podium with IRL. But Bjorn de Boer, 3 corners away from what has been a fabulous strategy. His tyres are going off. He is losing time corner after corner, but he's going to hang on for a seismic victory. It's a big slide out of the final corner, but he hangs on, and it's a seismic result for the Alpine. The Steps takes a first ever podium in Invictus Racing League. What a result for the Sauber man. And Sydney in third.
Just come around the last corner now. Let's take P4. Paul not far behind. Sunboy, sorry, it's 6. Milo just covered up the rear in 7th. IRL not too far behind. Oh, no, because of the penalty, which has bumped the IRL off. To be fair, some decent points for the Racing Bulls there. Nitro bringing it home in 10th. See.
Ruddo going for fastest lap, actually, whilst we were talking. He's on the soft tyres. We didn't see him pit, actually. But the Ferrari, he's going to beat his teammate because Owen's got no front wing. So that's not gone well for Owen. But is Sai going to get fastest lap? He does! He snatches the point. And he moves up to 11th. And Ruddo gets fastest lap.
3 points to Ruddo for that. Absolutely brilliant. But no, it's what a race.
What a race. And the Dutchman, Bjorn de Boer, has done it again. It's a continental European top 3. And you don't see 2 Dutch drivers and a Czech driver on in Formula 1 across the 3 podium. I know you normally see Max Verstappen at the top of the podium, that's quite common, but the last Czech driver we had in Formula 1 was Thomas Enger back in 2001 for Prost. So nice for the Czechs to celebrate here in Abu Dhabi. What a result. Driver of the day going to the steps. And I think I'd have to agree with that, Mikey, because he put in a shift today.
It's unreal. So you thought P9, was it?
Put P8 on the grid.
P8, sorry.
But let me just run through these provisional results. Beyond the Ball, the steps in Sydney take your top 3 placings. Shortbread and Pulse Race Tech, what might have been for those 2 in 4th and 5th place, considering the strategies. Some Boys 6th, ARL happy with the recovery drive in 7th. Milo de Boer, Ash Tube and Nitro rounding out the top 10. Ruddo snatching fastest lap of the race on the last lap with Ginger. Owen, Kent rounding out the classified finishes. Jalgisen retiring from the race with a damaged rear wing. But if my mathematics is correct, Mikey, going into the final race at Australia next week, Bjorn de Boer has a 17-point lead.
That's...
If he beats Sydney in the sprint,
it's game over.
It's game over. That is Bjorn de Boer's mission next week for Tier 1, to take his first title with Invictus Racing League. It's been a really competitive season. I'm sure Sydney will be frustrated with that race result. Thank you for everybody who's commenting. Shortbread saying, championship won in a sprint race. Oh no. It will go down to the final round though. That's the most important thing, even if it might not be the final race, technically speaking. But you never know, anything can happen in Grand Prix racing. If Bjorn de Boer crashes out in the sprint and Sydney wins, the gap becomes 11 points, and that's not impossible to pull out the bag. So it's not all over yet. You know, Australia very susceptible to weather as well. You could have a wet race there next week. But that was a great race. And for you, Mikey, your last race commentating for this season anyway. It's not your last race full stop, of course, because you're director of that now. But what have you enjoyed from your perspective in the comms box this season? What have you liked seeing, and any results or races that stick out to you?
I don't know, it's just like each race, it's always something different where you think, someone might sort of take a command and sort of presence in the race. And I think it was the first 4 or 5 races we had different winners.
Yeah.
So it's, to be our top tier, and there's always someone different up there. It's nice to see it's a competitive base across the board. But no, I've massively enjoyed it, to be fair, being in the comms box. So it's been enjoyable.
It has been. It's been good having you in the alongside myself and Jordan, obviously, of course, at the start of the campaign. And to say as well, just to make you aware, Jordan will be back commentating with me next week for the final round of the championship.
Yeah. It's obviously, I'm gutted I won't be here, but due to personal reasons. Yeah.
It is a shame, but we will, of course, the dynamic duo of me and Mikey will be reunited, of course, for next season. Don't worry about that. We'll give you more information about how season 22 will play out. We're not ready to reveal the information just yet, but we will be doing that soon. Mikey, have you got one final word to say before I finish up?
Just want to thank everyone for watching so far this season. It's been great being in the comms box with you, Jack. And look forward to it next season, but please do jump in tomorrow to ARL and GPH to take on our last round Jazz Marina with myself and Jack. Me probably crashing, but yeah, all of us piloting the cars for the last race of the season.
Yeah.
Champions still to play for.
Yeah, both championships still to play for in Tier 2 tomorrow, so make sure you do watch that, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a fabulous final race for the Tier 2 drivers here in Season 21. But that's it from us here in Invictus Racing League tonight for Tier 1. There will be one more race to come next week at Australia. The delayed and deferred Australian round 6 becomes round number 10 for our season. But from Mike here, it's good night.
Good evening.
And from me, Jack TM53, thank you very much for watching, and wherever you might be in the big wide world, I hope everything's going very well for you. And see you tomorrow for the final race of Tier 2 action here in Abu Dhabi.